Hello, world. Welcome to Rex Arthur TV. This is the Rex Arthur Show where we discuss LGBTQ issues with an LGBTQ perspective and an LGBTQ approach in an LGBTQ plus planet where each and every one of us belongs to one letter in the sexual alphabet, the 10 sexual alphabet LGBTQ, LGBTQIAAP. And today we are going to be in the mold of River of Thought Labo Fikir. And today I've been doing a lot of, sometimes when I do some reading, I think, and when I think about many things and that's when I can decide to post a video. So today I was thinking about economics and demographics. You see, what you need to understand about the world, this is called the diversity of economics, part 2. Part 1, we have already done part 1 where we discussed about the fact that everybody is a buyer and a seller at the same time. We both have purchasing potential and selling potential, everybody. Now, in some economies, some people have a higher selling potential. And it's just like the beauty about knowledge these days, knowledge is one. If you understand one thing, you've understood everything. So it's just like intersexuality. We both have male and female hormones, all of us. So we are actually both male and female. We are all intersex, but some are more intersex than others. So if you're trying to absorb that understanding, it takes some time until it becomes solid. Because I remember in the past, I used to have my theory that we are all bisexual, but some are gay and some are straight. And now I've evolved. It's now we're not just all bisexual, we are all intersexual. Because physically we carry both male and female hormones. We are products of male and female genetic material, your father and mother. So that makes you intersexual. Because if we were not intersexual, then it means that your father is the only one who makes you, he shapes you. The genetic material you have only comes from your father and not your mother. And the job of the mother is just to carry the zygote that has come from your father. But it's not like that. The zygote is made up of both genetic material from the father and the mother, therefore genetic material from a male and female. Now we'll study the species, and you'll find some species only carry genetic material from the mother only, and then other species only carry genetic material from the father. But we are species that carry genetic material from a male and a female, and that's what makes us intersexual. That's why you have male hormones because of your father, and you have female hormones because of your mother when you're a man. And when you're a woman, you have male hormones because of your father, and you have female hormones because of your mother. And then secondly, even if you have an X chromosome, because I'm still thinking about the genetic, how sex and genetics is connected. Your mother gives you an X as a man. This X chromosome also still carries hormones. And so what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, and the Y chromosome carries mostly very many. Y chromosome has a lot of male, the male hormone. So somebody will say, if the Y is carrying the male hormone, why is it that daughters, why do you say daughters have male hormones? They have testosterone because they carry an X. This X chromosome came from a, a Y chromosome carrier, a man. So the daughter still has testosterone, but the testosterone in the X chromosome is lower than in the Y chromosome. So, the Y chromosome carries a lot of testosterone, and the X chromosome carries little testosterone. So, this is why some daughters, and then if you find some girls who have a lot of testosterone, it could be because what I'm trying to say is that every chromosome and every cell, when gathered together, can have a hormonal imbalance or hormonal diversity. So that's why you find some daughters who have testosterone even though they don't have a Y chromosome. And that's why you find XY men who have a lot of estrogen even though they are men. This is why transgenderism is very natural. It's because of understanding the relationship between chromosomes and hormones and sexual development. As I said in the other video, when a woman has a lot of estrogen flashes, she can make a boy very feminine in the womb because of the estrogen flashes. So you see, estrogen is absorbed by the fetus, and that's what happens. You see, so what am I trying to say? That there is unity. The body is so united. You cannot. We are. That's why I'm a monist. In philosophy, I'm a monist. I believe that we are all united. We are one. There is no really war of. There is no war we have in the body. And the best type of life is where everything in your body goes in the same direction. Do you know what sickness is? Sickness is when a part of your body does not go in the direction that the parts of the body are going into. That's what disease is. That's why disease rhymes with diversity and division. It's because it's a two-way. One part of the body is okay, but the other part is not okay. That's what disease is. That's why I always tell myself, when I was an atheist, life was a bit easy in the sense that my whole being is going one direction. I want to do this, everything in me will go because there is no war. But when you have a religion that doesn't support what you're doing, there will be a war because your body wants to do that, but the religion is telling you don't do it. You see? So that's the war that happens to very many people who have religions that do not support what they are doing. And of course, it doesn't mean that you should be an atheist, but in that case, no, you just change the religion. That's why we now have reform movements that are reforming religions to fit into science. Now, we are back. Let's finish. So back to economics. So everybody has a buying and selling potential. Therefore, they are males and females. We have male and female hormones, so we have a buying and selling potential. Now, some people, just like in sex, some people are more manly than others. So some people are more selling. They have more of a seller potential than others. Others have a more higher buyer potential than others. And others have a balance between buying and selling. They are as good sellers as they are good buyers. So that's an economy. It's made up of those three characters. And then the sub degrees varying in each of those characters. Now, the funny thing about the economy, and this is what I want to talk about now, and what I've been thinking, and I'm still going to think about it, is the connection between you see what we've already connected. First of all, we've connected the connection between buying and selling. Remember, profit is whereby you sell something higher, and you get, you sell something more than the buying price, and then loss is whereby you buy it, the buying price is greater than the selling price. That's what loss is. So when people make losses, it is where the purchaser wins, the purchaser. And when people make profits, it's where the seller wins. So the irony about economics is that it's a love-hate relationship. You are in a war, yet you're in a peace relations. There is nothing like having peace all the time. And neither is there anything like having war all the time. That's why Solomon is one of my best philosophers, because he said there's a time for everything. There's a time to buy, there's a time to sell, there's a time to fight, there's a time to love. So all of those things work together. Now, I was then thinking to myself, okay, an economy is made up of buyers and sellers. Even every country has buyers. You are all buyers and sellers, or both a buyer and a seller. Now, I was arguing to myself about the currency. Currencies are affected by the, what do you call it? There's what you call the value of the currency, and this is, I'm not going to talk about it right now in depth, but that's now where I'm meditating. I'm just coming to tell you this is what I'm thinking right now, and I'm going to chew on it. Now, the value of the currency is very important in an economy, because there's this statement people make: this economy has no money. You see, so that's what we're trying to do. There's an economy has no money. And then when somebody was saying that, I was thinking to myself, but how can you say an economy has no money? An economy will have no money when there are many people, and that's my point that I was trying to bring. I was connecting demographics to economics, and demographics to currency. So what do I mean? I mean this, that sometimes when you have very many, and it's simple mathematics. If you have many children in the house, and you only have 3 bottles of, let's say, what do children like drinking? They like drinking soda. So only 3 bottles of soda, and there are 16 children in the house. What does that mean? That means only 3 children out of the 16 will get the soda, and the rest won't get the soda. And it is a sad inequality. So what do you do as a parent? You go and make and buy more bottles to feed those 16 children, to make them drink. But if you had one child and you came back with 3 bottles of soda, the child has surplus, because you'll take one and there'll be 2 extra. So what does this mean? Countries that have few people and they have a high, and the money supply is high, have richer people than countries that have very many people and the money supply is low, because there are many. And as I said in the other video, the weird thing about printing money, the printing of money is a is a is a is a time. It is a time process. It takes time. And these days, I've become very timed in what I'm doing, my stuff. I'm paying attention to time very much, and it's a very interesting discovery, that the world is time, life is time, God is time. And so when you have a country with so many people, you have to print a lot of money, and that means a lot of time is taken. But if you have very few people, you'll spend little time printing money. Yes, because you don't need a lot of money. Yes, more people, more money. So what I'm trying to put to economists is, how big is the effect? How big is demographics on economics? Does demographics really affect economics in such a big way? Yes, it does. Especially if the demographics, if the people are many and have potential to work in the economy. Like one of the reasons why governments look at the government shutdown in America, you know, look at the government shutdown. Do you know why it is big news? Very many people work for the government. And if they are joking, America should solve the issue very fast, because if it's not solved, the local economy will suffer. People will not pay their bills. People will be evicted from their houses, you know, because you've not paid rent, and time is because you've not been paid. You see, the game that's happening in America, it's so bad, because it is going to affect the economy in the long run. Yeah, in the long run, because majority of the purchasers have not got their money. Because when you're a worker, you are a seller and a purchaser, because you've sold your skill to the government, and the government pays you, and then the money they pay you, you go and buy your house, meaning you pay rent and you buy food. Now that the fact that you're not getting your pay for work you have done, you can even actually sue the government. Do you know, very soon the federal government, I mean these workers in America, will have a right to sue the government agencies for delaying to pay. Yes, because it's going to be I'm telling you, if it's going to take a month, my goodness, the amount of chaos that will be in the American economy is beyond belief. Now you have to understand that that's what's happening, and that's the same in every country. That, when they, like, people complain about unemployment. Why is there unemployment? There's unemployment because there are very many people. So because there are many people, you need more businesses, and you need more money making, and more businesses means you need more money, because capital is what sets up businesses, and capital is money. And to get money, money comes from the government. They print money. But the game of printing money is, if you print too much money, you will cause inflation. You can even make the economy collapse. So that's the weird thing I've been thinking about. And no wonder China devalues its currency. It devalues its currency because there are very many people. Yeah, many. China is a country of almost 2 billion people. So what does that mean? It means they if they don't devalue their currency, very many people have to work hard to get money in their pocket. That's why, have you noticed, $1 is not one Chinese renminbi? For that reason. Because if they did that, believe you me, the Chinese people would be in poverty if it was 1 to 1. But because it's 1 to 7, it's at least it's bearable. People don't need, you just need, because the value the currency has been devalued. The Chinese renminbi is not 1 to 1, it's 1 to 7, meaning it has been devalued. So when it's devalued, it makes life easy for the people. Yes, life is easy for the easy for the it's not easy for the rich, because the rich need more renminbis to buy. That's why most rich people in countries that have devalued currencies have their money in strong currencies, so that they can talk to the to the big economies. Because if you keep your money in the weak currency, it's a loss for you as a rich person, but not for the poor person. Because when you're in a country whereby the currency is weak, as a poor person, you can buy something. You see, it's like let's play around with a country like Uganda. Uganda, you can buy food, just a loaf of bread, or not a loaf of bread, just what a small snack that can keep you going for 500 Uganda shillings. Now, just think, compare 500 Uganda shillings to 500 US dollars. You see, it's very hard to find an American working with 500 US dollars at that moment. But in Uganda, practically everybody has 500 Uganda shillings because of the value. So there's a difference between 500 USD and 500 UGX. And the difference is in the value. And when you have poor people, you would rather let them you'd rather devalue the currency for them to survive, so that everybody can hold 500. Everybody can hold 500, and that 500 can buy something to eat. Because as I told you, the 500 USD, even in America, it's very hard to find. You just stop someone on the street, give me 500 US dollars right now. They can't, because it's of a high value. It's a lot of money you're asking for, and it's because the dollar is a very strong currency. That's why I was seeing an article that was saying the dollar is going to lose its value. It's losing its value over time, and I know why it will do it. They are just doing China. Yeah, you just devalue the currency when demographics is having an effect on you. So anyway, those are my thoughts. They have just come a bit rough, but I've thrown them for whoever can listen to them and refine them. And I'm going to refine them better. I'm reading more about the economics. But what I wanted, my point was, demographics has an effect on economics. And you have to really, if a very good economist is one who has understood the how to play with the demographics together with the economics. Because demographics is a new science that has also changed the way we plan and the way we run economies. Because in the past, people never even knew how many people are in a country. You see? But right now, people, you need to know. It's so important. Not only do you need to know how many people are in a country, you need to know how many people have certain jobs. You need to have data. Countries that don't have data, believe you me, they will fail. It's a fact. They will fail. Why? Because money is data. Yes, money is data. Big money, big data. That's why they say big data is big money. Yes, because money is data. So if you don't have data, how are you going to plan for economy? That's why corruption is high in countries that don't have data, or they have weak data systems. You go to this office, they don't know how many people are working here. That's why this ghost worker system, it's the reason why there is corruption. It's because there is no data collection, there is no data review, there is no data, everything is scattered. So that creates many loopholes. Have you seen a net that has big holes? Yes, those are big loopholes. The best net is the one that is a wire mesh. You see that one? Nothing can run away. When you go to the pond, and you do fishing, you will get very many fish with a net that has small squares compared to one that has big because they will not be trapped. They'll be able to go through the holes when you're getting the fish out of the water. So that's how, if you want to get all fish, just get a perfect wire mesh net and not a loose net. And that's the same thing in government systems. If you want to stop corruption, be always collecting data, and you'll know how many workers are there, and you pay that value. You will see how much money you will save. a lot. But if you have a system that doesn't have data system, it will you will there will be corruption, and there will be poor analysis, poor all of those things. So next thing you know, don't complain when the economy goes bad. It's because of all of those bottlenecks you have. Okay, so let's go on and think about demographics and economics, and its relationship with the value of a currency. Yes, sometimes in my view, I would rather devalue a currency when the people are very many. But it helps the poor, but it doesn't help the rich. But it makes the rich very rich. Yes, this is why countries that have devalued currencies, like you see China, do you know why they have very many billionaires? Very many, and they will rise. And this is why Trump complained that China is devaluing its currency, because the game is when the more people get money in their hands, and that means the rich people get richer, and that's why they even have the ability to change their money to dollars, convert it to dollars, and they become rich in dollars, and they appear in Forbes list. But if China's RMB was 1 US dollar, the number of rich people in China would be few, because the the power to get a lot of RMBs is like the power to get a lot of US dollars, which is very hard. So what to make it easy, devalue the currency, and then be an economy that is doing very well. You're a producer, you're a manufacturer, you're an agriculturist. Yeah, you sell, so you get more money, even though your currency is devalued. Then when you get too much money of the devalued currency, you go and convert it to the strong currency, and voila, you're on Forbes list. And that's what's happened in China. You wait when America now thinks of devaluing the dollar. It's thinking, but it has to, the beauty of artificial intelligence today, AI helps us to make outcomes. So you can even make outcomes of what will happen when the US dollar is this price to the whole economy of the world. What will happen when the US dollar is weak to the whole economy of the world? We can now do it thanks to AI. Okay, we'll see you later. This was just my thoughts. Revolve Thoughts.